Adolescence and misogyny, it's a big conversation at the moment. Obviously, I did my adolescence review video yesterday and I talked about the need for lessons around misogyny and healthy behaviors in relationship for teenage boys and girls, but in completely different ways. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, I've been thinking about it a lot. It's something I think about anyway, but I've been thinking about it a lot, and I find a lot of the conversation online quite complicated and weird because a lot of men feel like it's a personal attack. And it's not a personal attack. For me personally, I feel like education is so important. It's important to know, what are women talking about? What is this enthusiastic consent thing that people are talking about? And what are these appropriate behaviors that we're talking about? And what are these inappropriate behaviors? And I think it's so easy to get so confused and complicated in the whole thing, especially as a young man that's been taught one way. And I'm going to speak about my own personal life and, and where some of the mistakes that I have made come from. And the first example I'm going to give is like behavior when you're at parties, right? As a teenager, as a young man. Like, I've been to parties where I've been too tired, let's say, and I've not wanted to get involved in the dancing and the daggering and the whining and da-da-da-da, and the girls there will be like, oh, these men are boring. Do you get what I'm saying? The man I'm with just on a cooling. These men are boring, blah, 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 blah. I've been at parties where, say, man's been drinking and it's a different type of party, completely different culture, completely different circumstance. And it's like, these men are doing too much. These men are moving mad. Do you get what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. And the point I'm making is where you come from and the lessons and the culture that you come from. Sometimes you think the behavior that you're exhibiting is normal everywhere, and it's not. And it comes down to understanding that different people want different things. And I think this is like the sorts of lessons that we should be teaching in school. Do you get what I'm saying? And where it comes from. And that's just about education. It would stop you from getting in those circumstances where you're exhibiting those behaviors, because you would know already, or at least you would have an idea. Because if you haven't learnt those lessons, like, I've been told the worst stuff by men older than me. Like, growing up, I remember the boys used to tell me stuff. If I could tell you now some of the stuff that man told me, you wouldn't believe. And you take those things out into the world and you think they're normal stuff, but they're not. And some of those lessons that you're getting from men that ain't left their area, that ain't left their block, and you're trying to exhibit these behaviors in mad places outside of the areas that you grew up in with different type of women, and it's going left. And this is a thing that we're not understanding, is that there's lessons that are being taught that are incredibly unhealthy, and women are trying to say, we don't want that. Some women might want that, but we as a whole don't want that. And for some reason, we're taking that as a disrespect. And guys, all I'm saying is, it's not a disrespect. We need to start listening and learning. And a lot of the stuff I've learned is from following feminist pages, for example. I don't agree with everything that they're saying, but it's good to listen to what they've got to say. It has taught me so much and I've grown so much. I'm not perfect. I'm just saying, this is why these lessons are important, guys. Listen and learn.